We are back, episode 3, I believe. This is a Strictly Apple Talk, Strictly podcast. My name is Alex.
I'm Landon.
And I'm Jonathan.
And we are back, the special podcast, actually, this week. Apple's Week of Announcements has started.
A ton of stuff.
Yeah, today is Tuesday. So if you're listening to this is actually Tuesday, the 29th, October 29th of 2024. So we haven't had all of the Apple announcements for the week. But let's just recap of what we got, because 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is actually what people had quoted is the time, and is actually true. Actually, Jonathan and I were in the car just a little bit ago, and it came out, the new Mac Mini announcement. Yep. So let's run down. Monday, Apple announced 3 big announcements. First one was the refreshed iMac with an M4 chip and new color options, with an updated keyboard, mouse, and trackpad. With USB-C ports, and the release of Apple Intelligence on the iPhone, iPad, and iMac, which actually, Jonathan, do you have your phone with you?
I do.
The whole thing that we kept saying, look at this, look at the outline of this.
Do you have that yet?
The Siri?
Yeah.
I think I have.
Do you guys have this?
I don't know.
Oh, no.
You don't have it?
No, I don't
How
have
do
it.
I not have it?
And that's what I'm saying. Like, he just busted it out.
I thought I had this.
Internship.
Isn't that like iOS 18?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Basic?
yeah, that's what I thought too, and I don't see it.
Is it an update? What's the update you have right now currently on that?
I am on...
Oh, update it to tonight. 8.1. 18.1.
I'm at 18.1.
Yep, I need to update it now. I'm going to do it now. I'm going to update now. And by the end of this podcast, if Apple does their thing, we're going to let you guys know if that updates.
Right on. So, okay.
7 gigabyte worth update.
Okay, so Tuesday, just a little bit ago, Apple introduced the redesigned Mac Mini with the M4 Pro chip. It's the Mac Mini's first redesign in over a decade, which is kind of crazy. We were looking at it, and it was 5 by 5 inches.
That's insane.
For since 2010, I mean, over a decade.
Over a decade,
since the white Mac Mini back in like 08, 07, they haven't redone that at all.
No.
This is the first refresh.
This is the first refresh. Which is kind of crazy. A lot of specs on there. A lot of people.
It looks like a mini studio, Mac Studio.
It does.
From what
it
I can
does.
see.
And then so it's the M4 Mac Mini is the Apple's first carbon neutral Mac. If that is something that you're extremely into, carbon neutral Mac, completely first, 100%. But they showed that announcement video not too long ago, about an hour ago. Seems like it's doing pretty good. Thunderbolt 5 USB-C cable now available in the online Apple Store. I don't know too much about it yet. Thunderbolt 5.
Yep.
Completely over me. But starting at $599 with 16 gigs of memory, new Mac Mini is available pre-order today, and availability beginning November 8th. So we got a little bit, a little over a week.
Next Friday, something like that?
Yep.
Next Thursday?
The M4 Pro chip boosts CPU and GPU performance up to 64 gigabytes of RAM and Thunderbolt 5 support. Thunderbolt 5. Don't know too much about it right now.
No.
Okay, so Landon, what do you think? Knowing what we know, and you've been dealing right now, since you started doing this with the Mac Minis, all new redesign, M4, Pro chip in there. What do you think? $599 coming out of $599, and compared to what we sell right now, used here at Strictly Apple, Mac Minis that are still hitting it hard. I mean, they're still amazing machines.
Well, first of all, the Mac Mini, I think, is one of the best machines that Apple's ever created.
I don't think people understand.
The best bang for your buck.
Yeah, and I don't think people understand. They're like, oh, it doesn't come with the screen, doesn't come with everything else. That doesn't matter.
No, I don't think it matters. If you want the functionality and the productivity of a Mac under $1,000, it's the only thing. You can't buy a computer. You can't buy a MacBook right now with 16 gig, 512 for under $1,000 right now, let alone a Mac Mini that you can set up. It's portable. Now, you might not be able to take the screen everywhere with you that you have to get for it, but if you buy it for $599, and you could have $400 spent on a screen before you even get to the point where it's the same price as a MacBook would be at that price.
Yeah, and people are doing like,
and it's the M4.
Yeah.
Now this is the M4. Now Mac Mini skipped the M3. They went M1, M2, and they just jumped to the M3. So I don't know why they did that, and it's really weird because the iMac for the past 4 years has came out with M1, M2, M3, M4, but Mac Mini just totally skipped it.
Yeah.
Which I'm all for a refresh of the Mac Mini design as well. The smaller, the better, and it looks very similar to the Studio. So I'm down for it.
One thing I want to talk to you also, Landon. You and I are big advocates. You more so than I of 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 using elements such as like Chat GPT,
Oh yes.
AI services. Now, the big Apple Intelligence is now available to the general public with 18.1, which we should see here soon. Apple, Mac OS Sequoia. The whole 18.1 includes the writing tools, a new look for Siri, notification summaries, and more, which I know we had talked about too. Like, I don't. You're a big advocate too of mail too,
Mm-hmm.
and like Apple Mail.
I'm a mail. Yes, not
Yeah.
Google, not Yahoo. I like mail.
Yeah, and I'm a Gmail kind of guy, and I don't know why. Maybe because I've always set up myself through Gmail, so it just seemed a little bit. Maybe I need to come back to that.
Yep.
But I'm very very curious. Do you have Sequoia yet? No.
Honestly, I don't even know what my Mac's running right now. It's the new one of the newer Macs. I have no idea. Whatever runs so I can get through the day.
Okay,
That's what that is.
Right on. But Mac Sequoia, like literally, the drop down. I'm sitting in there with you all the time. Talking, running through stuff, and you get these notifications for emails.
Oh yeah.
Right
Yep.
now, it'll show you literally a quick synopsis. You'll get a quick summary when it pops down of like this email is about such and such wanting this, this, and this.
Which is so much better.
Because
half the time I don't even want to read the email.
I know.
Yes, I know. Yeah, I'm the one. I'm like, okay, why did I get this email? No, I think that, and I think I'm a Chat GPT guy. But Apple is
which is elemented into.
Yes, that's
Apple.
what I was going to say.
Yeah.
It's not Apple's own system. They're crossed with
Piggybacking. Yeah.
ChatGPT.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be very useful. I think everything with your phone is going to be a lot more automated, which is beneficial, and it's also crucial to how this world's going in technology.
And what do you think? Okay, this is a Landon. This is a land because I know you have a big creative mind, a big like I stopped playing with Legos and you could still play with Legos. Like your imagination runs wild because you get big ideas. Where do you think AI is going next?
It's scary to think about. No, that's a great question.
Hey,
It's scary to think about.
can I prelude? Do you use intelligence anywhere else in your life?
AI intelligence? Not. I use the Siri.
Okay.
Siri on like my HomePods at home.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, definitely. I talk to
Okay.
them sometimes.
And do you
just
ask
have a
them to do
conversation.
anything?
I ask them to turn my TV off.
See, I'm not at that level yet.
I will walk to bed and I'll say, "Hey Siri, turn my TV off. Living room TV." Or, "Hey, turn this on."
Okay.
"Hey, play music." "Hey, play this on the porch." 100%. It makes it so much easier. Genuinely, it's kind of a lazy thing because I could do it on my phone as well.
Yeah.
Or just,
Or just do
go
it.
old school and pick up the remote.
That's what I do.
Convenient is the word you're
I think it's
looking for.
convenient. I can be, getting a glass of water before bed and at the same exact time, turn my TV off and turn the lights on in the next room.
Right. Do you think that's taking an element out of anything? Maybe it's just me being old and old school.
I think
Do you think you're lacking exercise by standing up, grabbing the remote, and
I save time. I'm going to
Well said.
argue it on
Well
I
said.
can save time
Yep.
by doing that. Now it's not a lot of time, but I think everybody's going to be doing it. When you're 75 one day, it's going to be like, "Hey Alexa," or "Hey Siri." Don't want to bring Alexa into this, sorry, but lock the door. Like
Yeah.
that's going to be the idea of it. Everything's going to be automated from security systems to how you enter your house. I just got a new car.
that's what I wanted to know. I didn't want to prod in that direction, but using automation.
I can pull up to my house and the garage door opens.
Oh.
When I drive away, the garage door closes.
But what if it does?
I don't. It tells. I don't know to tell you. And if it doesn't, it's open. It's open that day. But it was extremely cool. And I think obviously in the past, and I always go back to this. Since 2007, when the iPhone came out, we are 17 years. And 17 years, which is less than half of Alex's life.
Not mine.
Alex's life.
My whole life.
Yes, since you've been born, which you might have been the start of it.
April
Without
07.
knowing.
Without knowing.
You might be the reason we have technology today.
Yeah. That's why we
Um,
brought you in here.
And that's a
Thank
great
you.
way to
Thank you.
remember that too. Be like, how old is Jonathan?
How old, John?
That's how long since the iPhone. But ever since the start of that iPhone and started that in 17 years, it's insane because if you look at the previous 17 years, we're still working with bricks.
Yeah.
There's no
Flips.
touchscreens in cars. Everything's flips. It's entirely different. Bluetooth isn't really a thing.
Yep.
Before then, right?
Right.
It's all connected by cable.
Correct.
In the past 17 years, I think there's been huge strides of
Improvement.
and much more improvement exactly than there was the previous 17 years. And that's all because of tech. And I think the next 17 years, it's going to be insane.
It's gonna double.
Absolutely. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be good. It's going to be scary. It's going to be bad. There's good and there's bad to the AI side of things, whether it's loss of jobs or creates more jobs.
Plagiarism.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, when
Plagiarism.
it's something we had talked about previously too. And now, Jonathan, you're getting ready to graduate, within the year. However, talking about that school element of plagiarism. Now, Landon and I use AI differently than what your generation is using it for currently.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
For making their book reports. I don't think book reports are a thing anymore, but
I think
with AI, no, they're not.
yeah, they're not.
yeah, no, everything, and you can't even I think we talked about this episode 1. You can't even take your phone to the math.
That's correct.
Or you got to plug turn it in.
Yep. That's crazy. Let's run down to really quick the new 24-inch iMac.
Okay.
It's the M4 upgrade up to 1.7 times faster. They're always saying the faster piece, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not that high tech I'm not David. Like I can't see that, physically see that. The new 12 megapixel center stage camera with support for desk view, which we've been featuring out for quite a bit now, with the overhead camera with your phone. The new features a powerful M4 chip, Apple Intelligence, the 12 megapixel stage camera, like we said, with desk view, and color matched accessories, which is something that I was big on actually when we were setting up office in there in the media office. Does my iMac or does the iMac that's sitting there actually for you originally doesn't match the accessories? And I'm just a nerd about that.
Yeah.
Especially
now that you have the option to match the accessories. I want them to match.
Correct.
Right.
So on that, the 7 colors, the new shades of green, yellow, orange, pink, purple, and blue alongside the classic silver.
I love Apple doing color, by the way.
I think
they're bringing it back.
They're bringing it back.
Vintage.
And it's last time Apple did color was in the early 2000s.
Yep.
With the desktop looking.
Yep.
You saw them in
the
your
one
school.
I had. Yeah, the
yes,
one I had in
correct.
school.
So Apple's coming back to doing that. I love it. The phones, iPads, everything has color. It's very bright. It's very, it sticks out. But one thing I will talk about, and I think I'm right when it comes to this, and I think if we have people listening or have people watching this clip, that Apple needs to come out with a 30-inch iMac. Everybody loved the 21-inch, but they loved the 27-inch when they had Intel iMacs.
And that's what I have at home. I don't have an iMac at home, but I've always had 27-inch
monitors, right?
Yep.
So Apple took away the Intel 27 and 21, split it in the middle at 24. Great size of a screen, right? But there are so many customers that would buy a 27-inch, but they would also want a 30-inch iMac. And I think 30-inch iMac is the 30-inch iMac is what needs to happen for Apple. They keep on changing everything else. Production, obviously, having the same size is going to be much easier for them, but having that extra 6 inches people will love it.
Yeah.
People will love it. So I think Apple needs to come out next year, 30-inch iMac. People will buy that. People will buy it.
Right. What is it? The Pro display, the Pro monitor.
Yes.
How big is that?
So that is a 27-inch. The Apple Studio display is a 27-inch monitor. But it's $1,500, $1,600 for just the monitor.
Yeah.
And I don't
8K
think
resolution.
that thing will. Yeah. You'll go crazy on it. And it's really cool to use, right? But they also have the XDR display, which that's a $5,500, $6,500 monitor, which most people can't afford that, or they don't want to buy that. I don't want to buy that, right?
Yeah.
It's expensive. It's a monitor. If you're doing something that requires that, okay. But if not, they want a bigger screen on an iMac.
Yep.
And I think maybe that's why they're pushing the Mac Mini, so that you can buy your own screen, and Apple can get away with doing what they're doing now, which is fine, but I just don't think it's very budget friendly.
Yep. So talking about what's coming up. So next up, expecting the MacBook Pro to be updated with the M4 chips. Mm-hmm. Do we think that is going to make a substantial difference? I'm not sure because we haven't used it.
Why? No. Okay. Here's the
the M4 Max on one user at X spotted.
Here's the question.
Yeah.
Why when Apple came out M1?
Yep.
Everything had an M1.
Yep.
Everything, right? There's M1. There's there's M1 iPads. There's M1 MacBooks. There's M1 iMacs. There's M1 Mac Minis. Everything's M1. M2, wait, let me think. Everything had an M2, but they skipped the M3 on iPads and they skipped the M3 on Mac Minis.
Yeah.
But iMac, MacBook, and I think that iPad Air might have had an M2. But the iPad Pro didn't have an M2. It
Yep.
skipped to M3 or M4 or something like that.
Why is that?
They don't. I don't understand that. Obviously, they want to put a chip in and make the best chip possible, but it's all over the place. I will say this: it is extremely hard to keep track of on our end or even on the consumer's end when it comes to these chips all over the place. But I guarantee you that this is part of Apple's plan. I don't think it's necessarily an idea to confuse people, but there's chips everywhere. Why not just call it this the M1, M2, M3, M4 like they have iMac? Makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, and we'll just to kind of, I did a little bit of research, and shout out to macrumors.com. I love the editorials that come out of there. They did say that Apple's expected to, and a bunch of different places, but shout out to, like we said, Mac Rumors. Apple's expected to announce a new 14-inch and a 16-inch MacBook Pro model, including an entry-level 14-inch MacBook Pro with the M4 chip and higher-end 14 and 16 MacBook Pro models with the M4 and M4 Max chips. Now, as soon as I hear that, you know what I hear? I hear iPhones, because you have the 14, 14 Pro, 14 Pro Max.
There's
right?
multiple levels to every device.
And why is that?
Well, and if you look at it, it's across the board.
And people don't know what they need.
No.
You know how many times a day I hear you, Landon, on the phone, or I hear Tony over in sales, or Brandon, and they're saying, well, what do you do with it? What are you doing with your device?
What's your ideal?
Because people are saying, I don't know what I need. What do I need?
Right.
You know what I mean?
And they're overpaying because they don't know what they need. Sometimes on certain devices, they might think they need a Pro, but they could probably get everything done with an Air.
Yeah.
And I think that goes back around to there's so many different devices. And like you said, with the 15 Pro, 15 Pro Max, 15, and then 15 Plus, every single device has different models. iPad, iPad Mini,
Yep.
iPad Air,
Yep.
iPad Pro. The Mac, there's MacBook Pro, MacBook Air, iMac, Mac Mini. There's 4. Now, you can also throw in just the regular MacBook Pro without the M1 Pro chip they just came out with. Now it's just the M4 chip or whatever it is. So there's technically a 5th one on there. But even Apple Watches, they have your Series, they have your SE, and they have your Ultra.
And I never understood that. Actually, when I was buying a gift not too long ago, a watch.
Yep.
Maybe 5 or 6 months ago, I'd asked you, I'm like, dude, I have no clue.
Yes.
I have no clue. To me, I stopped generations ago with the Apple Watch. I probably should, because it helped with weight gain and weight loss. But I was thinking about it, and I'm like, why would people need different levels? Now, I can see if it's a tactical reason, or if they're swimming,
Yep.
because a lot of those have different depth.
Right.
But why?
There is no reason for the Apple Watch Ultra other than what it looks like.
You love it.
I love it.
Yeah.
But I have a big wrist, and I have larger hands, so I like the way it looks versus having a Series even 9 or
42.
Series 10, 45, 46, right?
Yep.
That is something that I like, the aesthetics of how it looks. It's a lot more durable, I will say, as well. But it does everything the Apple Watch Series 10 or Series 9 could do. I also think the best bang for your buck, again, is going to be one of the SEs.
Yeah.
The SE2, if your grandma needs an Apple Watch, get her an SE.
Yeah.
There's a couple things that the Series 9 or Series 10 can do that the SE can't. But unless you're using one of those things on a daily basis or need it, period, go with the more affordable route. And that goes the same with your phone. Why do I have the Pro Max? I have no idea.
Because I love saying that I do.
I love saying and I do, right? No, I'm serious. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I do a lot of videos, but my the video creation that we do here isn't necessarily the most clear cut, precise.
Yeah.
I'm recording some boxing, doing some stuff around the shop. It's not crazy 5K stuff.
Right.
I could get away with a Plus.
Yep.
I like the size.
Yep.
Right. And I'm paying another $400 for the extra camera.
Right.
You like how big that phone is?
I love how big the phone is.
Okay.
Yep.
I think my workload, now I can't say, and that's true. Now, I like the Plus because I'm looking at a lot of video all the time on there. And I also like I said in a previous episode, the greatest thing ever to come is that I can plug my USB-C hard drive into
You did
it.
say that.
And
yep.
I'm constantly doing video work on it. And I don't know if I can do that with the non-Pro models.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But maybe what if you can? You still wouldn't go. Once you go max,
You never go back.
you never go back. That's what he said, right? And it's true. Once you go to that size, you never go back. Some people don't like it. Some people do. But it's kind of the thing that Apple, and I like what Apple does because they give you a idea or an understanding of, hey, there's multiple different variants that you can choose from, the SE, the Series, or the Ultra. They got different price ranges. And obviously, in any type of sales, you want to give the customer multiple different options. You don't want to give them 100.
No.
Right? 100 is way too much. But you want to give them a couple. And that's what Apple's done. And with the MacBook and the Mac products, they've sort of expanded that a little bit. But Mac Mini, you got a Mac Mini or you got a Mac Studio. Okay? With the screens, you got this or that. iPhones, they have a couple more just because of budget friendly. And then we also, we talk about the 15 or the 16 and all those. Apple still makes SE.
Yep.
They still make SE3. They still have that iPhone 8 looking phone that I think is a great deal if you need a cheap phone. I think it's a great phone for children. I think it's a great phone for adults that want to still have that, maybe a grandmother or elderly
exactly
person.
what my grandma has.
It's super easy, and the main thing is there's the button. It's and with certain age groups, it's a lot easier to teach. Push that, and we get back to start home screen. Correct?
So I don't know as far as like running 18.1 with this new AI, Apple, intelligence,
I'm
or what I would like
now,
to call
by
it
the way.
Apple super intelligence.
She's finished.
Oh,
Let's quick.
hit the button.
I know I'm turning it on now. Turn on stolen device.
Oh,
That's a whole nother subject for a whole nother day. I don't want to set up Siri now. Okay, I did not set up Siri, so it's going to ask me to say hey Siri and stuff like that. I'll do it. Episode 4, we'll talk about that.
Yep,
We'll
talk about it later this week. Okay, so last, I guess not last piece of it, but something I wanted to chat with really quick. I know this is a quick episode. We just want to kind of give updates for the week.
Absolutely.
So when we come back on Thursday for the next episode, we're going to talk about the MacBook Pros. But I have no clue. I'm going to be honest. Thunderbolt 5, no idea.
No idea.
And for David to come out, I said Thunderbolt 5, and David came out of the kitchen a little bit ago. He goes, Thunderbolt 5? What the heck is that? I was like, all right, old man, let's calm down.
I think, when every single time they change a port or any type of Thunderbolt or anything, it's always going to be faster.
Yep.
The quality is going to come over clearer, and it might be more compatible with other.
Thunderbolt 5 is USB-C.
Yes.
That's correct.
And that is the same with multiple. What is a Thunderbolt previous?
Well, Thunderbolt 1 and 2, I know were like the square designs.
Yep. And then 3, 4, and 5. Thunderbolt and USB-C are the same thing since like the
It's
third or
just
fourth
a
gen.
thicker encoded cable.
Yes,
I know
correct.
that.
So you see that USB-C cable that's lying around, but it's like
A lot bigger.
it's just a lot thicker than your normal, easy to tangle.
Right. It's like Cat 5, Cat 6.
Yep, same thing. So it's a lot of it just transfer faster, and some of those cords and cables, that's a whole nother conversation too.
Right.
Because some of them only can be used for certain things. Some of them transfer stuff faster. A lot of people think just a normal USB-C cord can do everything.
No, it cannot.
It cannot.
No. And I know this also because Apple CarPlay. So I didn't start using Apple CarPlay until this year. I just upgraded to a different car, and I tried to plug in. It's USB-C or USB 2.0, right, to USB-C. Like to plug into my phone because it's not wireless Apple CarPlay. And I had to go through 4 or 5 cables till I found one that actually worked with it, which is kind of wicked.
It's crazy. And that happens a lot. So the previous car I had before I just got this new one, it would do the same exact thing. If it wasn't a specific cable, and I don't like how Apple
It's like a data transfer cable.
Yeah, it's like you got to have a certain cable sometimes to be able to do the Apple CarPlay in your car. But also there's cars that run it wirelessly. But the wireless Apple CarPlay has issues, from my understanding, a lot. We've actually helped multiple customers with like my phone's not connecting, you got to redo the Bluetooth. And sometimes it just doesn't work. So I don't think CarPlay is as reliable as it should.
Yeah.
I think it will get better. And I honestly think with how technology is now, it should be flawless.
Yeah.
I mean, it should be
Honestly,
top of the line,
every
man.
time I get in the car, my Bluetooth connects to my car first.
Yep.
And it's so much more reliable.
It's so much more, yes.
But it, like I said, with like the 15 Pro Max, it's the aesthetics.
Yes.
I get in, I want to see the Apple CarPlay dash.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And whether or not one's better than the other, I don't know. Maybe it's just an app world now.
And I will say this because this is our podcast. Apple CarPlay trumps.
Android
Oh
Auto.
my, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Throw me
Somebody
back
had
in the
to say
80s,
it.
dude. I wasn't even in the 80s. So it's absolutely insane. Yeah. How was it? Tell us.
I don't remember much of
Your
it.
childhood
It was great.
is what I'm talking about.
Apparently it was a party because I came out. So.
But I think that Android Auto is nowhere near what Apple CarPlay
But honestly,
is.
I've never seen Android Auto.
I haven't either.
I've seen it a few times. I don't like it.
You're not friends with them anymore?
No, I'm not friends with the Android Autos.
Never been back to that car.
No, I've never physically used it, so I guess my opinion is very biased.
Yeah.
But I will say that it does not look aesthetically pleasing as Apple. And maybe that's what Apple is.
Yep.
And a lot of people talk about that, like the iPhone looks good. That's why people buy it.
Let's talk about this really quick, and we can come back to this question. Last thing, really quick. We're talking about earlier in the episode. We were talking about Apple Intelligence and Siri. Now that's what you downloaded.
Siri.
Don't start.
Siri.
What did you tell me earlier?
Siri.
Siri.
It's not Surrey.
Not Surrey.
It's,
Siri.
Look, it's
S-I.
Is it
it's
popping
R.
up
it popped up on my computer.
Heck yeah.
Wait, nobody's saying
Because
that.
it just understands you.
Listen. Well, you guys are the only ones that ever corrected me. Oh, Siri. Hey, Siri.
Hello?
It's going to say that, yes. But if I call you Allah,
I'm not sure I
Allah,
understand.
like you're going to answer it.
Okay. Before
Continue.
Okay, before you read anything on Apple Intelligence,
Mhm.
you just downloaded the 18.1,
Okay.
which is the big announcement today.
Yep.
That it's available on all those devices. What are you expecting Apple Intelligence to do for you until we record podcast on Thursday?
Oh, man. Apple Intelligence. First of all, I just downloaded it, like you said. I'm going to use it. And I'm hoping that it upgrades my time saving. Like we talked about at home, we use a lot of it to, get this done, get that done. The Siri, I don't use Siri a ton, but I want to start using it more. And maybe if I understand all that I can do, I'll start using it more. Calendar is something I've continually had to get better at. And I know Apple just updated their calendar in their system, but it would be, I think, on the iOS 18 and the 18.1, and they're making that easier for you to say, hey, do this, do that, and then remind me at this time, that whole idea, without honestly touching your device.
Yeah, and there's something that I don't think. Okay, so if you were to happen to watch, I know I'm dragging this out, but if you were to happen to watch the announcement this morning, so just for example, they're talking about Apple Intelligence. It said a whole new things that you can ask Siri to do or ask Siri of Siri to do.
Correct.
I don't think it's kind of like, I know I'm dating myself again. It's kind of like when we started using Google way back in the day. Sorry.
When we started using Google.
Yeah, started using Google back in the day, search engines, right? People didn't know how to search things. You just put in, like, if I'm looking like, I'm looking for a good quote out of, Huckleberry Finn,
Okay.
right? Back in the day, they would put Huckleberry Finn and then have to look for something. They don't know specifics. Huckleberry Finn plus quotes plus, highlights.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Now, I feel like if you're watching that thing this morning, there was a bunch of examples, and I feel like I should read those examples because no one's ever going to give you a breakdown of every single thing Siri can tell you. You know what I mean? So we're going to have to learn as a generation, learn how to ask it what to do.
Learn.
Because it's learning us as we're learning it.
And the more that makes total sense. Yeah. Not just you learning how to use AI, but AI adapting to the way you speak, the way you talk, the things that you want in order to both of you to adapt together.
So because like right now, honestly, the things are, hey, Siri, what's 12 plus 5 plus 7?
Right.
But there are so many more things that she can do.
Yes.
That we have no idea. And I don't even know if Siri has an idea.
No.
You know what I mean?
And I think that
so we have to learn it as we go.
Yeah, we have to learn it, and it will learn us. And as long as this is one plug for Siri, is we need to continue using that because the more that we use it, the more information they have in order to make it better.
Right.
So in 10 years from now, Siri could be the new AI of everything. Like Siri. That's how it could roll. But we have to continue using it and also make sure that we keep up with it. Because if you don't use something for 2 generations of it, you come back to it and you don't know how to use it. You know what I mean? Like you're gone, you're lost, you got to relearn it. And you have some of the background of what you used previously. But if I stop using an iPhone right now and went to an Android, God forbid, it would have to be The Walking Dead around here. But if I did that, I come back a couple generations later, and there's going to be a couple updates.
I found this on the web for what's 12
There's going to be a couple updates, and we're going to have to learn that as time goes on. So it's something that we got to adapt to.
Yeah.
And I think that's all technology, and especially now, we have to understand, in 50 years from now, our kids won't have this problem. because it will already be done. Like we
Yeah.
know how to use Google now, right? Because we've adapted to it.
Yeah.
But we're in the first
Stage.
5 years of AI.
Yeah. It's just
Let's
crazy.
be honest.
It's crazy.
It's like the start of a century. I mean, we are in the first 25 years of this century, right?
Yep.
So when you think about that, at the end, when we clock into 2100,
Mhm.
which probably won't make it there, but if we do, you know, this is going to be normal.
Yeah.
This is going to be normal, and we'll probably be able to do. You'll
This-
be recording
this
this
will be on the
podcast off your
history.
phone.
Yeah, this podcast will be on the History Channel.
Yes, that would be cool too.
That would be awesome.
60 minutes, maybe even.
Before we clock out, if I can ask something of Jonathan.
Yep.
Jonathan, if we can make a story post a story about Surrey versus Siri, because I'm a little hurt, and I don't know why I'm saying it.
It's
different.
Siri.
It's Siri.
Siri.
S-I-R-I.
It's Surrey.
It's not.
It's not. There's no
S-U-R-R-Y.
you.
You're
Sir.
saying
But
it.
Sir,
like-
I guess Sir E. Yeah, but
That's what I'm saying. Surrey.
does the I make the
Siri.
does the one I make the other I more I?
Why don't you ask Siri what her name is?
What did you just say?
Siri. You know what I mean?
What did you just say?
Let's ask Siri. No. Hold up.
Ask Siri. She knows.
What is your name?
She doesn't even
My
know.
phone's muted.
Dude, she doesn't even know.
Watch. What is your name?
My name is Siri.
Siri.
But that's the male version.
Well, I have the female version.
it doesn't matter what you identify as. It's still the same word.
I know, but she's gonna pronounce it
Hold on, let's see.
different.
What is your name? What is your name?
Did you hear that noise?
It's a
What I
new.
meant. Hey Siri. Why isn't it working?
Can we? Why would they change that?
I don't know.
Because they do that stuff.
I know, but
What is your name?
This is what I'm talking about. She doesn't know because we haven't told her.
She doesn't know. She said, "Oh no, actually, how do you pronounce your name?"
It's a whole different discussion for a different day.
Different day, different discussion. Apparently, Siri
Also-
needs a new update.
Also, how I always refer to her as Surrey. You have a male Surrey or male voice that you have chosen. I always refer to her.
Change my voice in Siri settings.
Siri settings. Siri settings.
Boom.
That just got. We got that. That's Siri.
I tried to escape
Prove
it
it.
without.
That's Siri, and that's how you say it. Siri, not Surrey.
You know what? This has been the Strictly Apple Talk podcast.
But let me ask you: if you are watching this right now, is it Siri or is it Surrey?
Let us know.
Who's a Siri? Who's a Surrey?
I'm a Surrey.
Let us know.
Siri.
Strictly Apple Talk podcast. My name's Alex,
I'm Landon.
I'm Jonathan.
and we are out.
We'll talk to you in a few days.
Let's go.